Well, for more than a year, Jim and Evelyn Piazzas have been touring the country, talking to college students and others about the dangers of hazing. Now, they go through very graphic details about what happened before and during and after their son Tim suffered some fatal injuries during a fall at a fraternity hazing event. Now, while the Piazzas appreciate what President Barron has done to lead the conversation in hazing, they say they don't understand why their message isn't reaching more people at Penn State. Jim and Evelyn Piazzas have been touring the country, speaking to large crowds, like this one at IUP. Thousands come out to hear what they went through as they made the heartbreaking decision to unplug the life support systems that were keeping their son Tim alive. He had catastrophic damage after falling down a flight of stairs in his fraternity house after an alcohol-fueled hazing ritual called the Gauntlet.
You know, we've been to Purdue and spoke to 5,000 people. Ohio State, we spoke to about 3,000 people. This is a campus where we should be speaking really to 3,000 to 5,000 students and making a broader impact than 250. So
they're interested in talking to large groups at Penn State, but that hasn't happened.
No, we did talk to a fairly small group of several months ago.
That's when Penn State invited them to talk to 250 people, including fraternity leaders and pledge masters. An important audience, but not the impact they were hoping for.
Penn State has been our smallest group so far, and we've been to some small schools.
Jim Piazzas says he doesn't understand.
Well, they haven't invited us, and I don't know if, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Damon Sims, Vice President for Student Affairs, says the university wants to have a partnership with the Piazzas, but there have been no announced plans for a large event.
Well, I think the discussion has been about how can we involve the Piazzas appropriately and effectively in what we're trying to achieve here.
Penn State professor Kirk French saw the value of the Piazzas story. In early April, he invited them to speak to his Anthropology of Alcohol class. About 700 people were there, mostly students across all disciplines.
Look, if we get the message through to some people and they get it, and most importantly the message of call for help if somebody needs it.
Brianna Rossi says it had a stronger impact than what she heard at freshman orientation.
I almost cried. I was down in the front taking pictures and I had to put my camera down and kind of take a minute.
Rossi says more people need to hear what the Piazzas went through.
The Greek life isn't bad, but it needs to hear this stuff.
She says their story made her change her attitude toward drinking.
It's not just Greek life that has this, it's every party you're gonna see someone going chug, no matter how big or how small.
The Piazzas hope Penn State expands their anti-hazing message.
I mean, really, they should have a segment during orientation so that every person coming in and their parents hear about hazing.
Now, lawyers for two Beta Theta Pi brothers say the Piazzas haven't been truthful when they've been talking about Tim to large audiences. They say they have taken that argument to court, and I'm going to have reaction from the Piazzas on whether they would be facing jail time because of all that coming up next Thursday at 11.